season that travels all across the Show Me State comes to a head here in Blue Springs, Missouri. On the campus of Blue Springs South High School, we have the other Class 2 semifinal Rosati-Kain Cougars taking on the Smithville Warriors. Hello there, I'm Kyle Hass, and alongside me is Chris Duke, Director of Blue Valley Soccer Club, University of San Diego alum, and Comets star from what year?
89.
Okay, 89. Gonna go ahead and throw it out there, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Getting up there.
Well, what we've got here is a matchup between two teams that come in and playing very different styles. You have Rosati-Kain, the established team, coming in with a 22-6-1 record, playing all over the St. Louis area, out of St. Louis, and they have become an establishment, making their 19th trip to the Missouri State Championships up against an up-and-coming team in Smithville. As we take a look at Rosati-Kain Cougars starting lineup, and they're a young team but a very athletic team, very skilled in how they go about playing in this year, and hoping to grab their first ever state championship, just one third-place finish in their history. On the other side, the Smithville Warriors, making their fourth trip here and the fourth time in 6 years for Smithville. They have a runner-up to show in their trophy case, but they are an athletic team. Most of these girls have played on the championship basketball teams that played in the Show Me games the previous 2 years, but they're led by a freshman in Kelsey Mothershed, number 22. She leads the team with an astonishing 46 goals this season, an imposing freshman that we'll have to keep our eye on.
Smithville is defending the south goal.
And Chris, and something like that, we know that Smithville's going to come out and play a 4-5-1, and we talked to Coach John Reed before the game, and he said, we got one forward and we're going to carry her the entire way through, and she is a force to watch. So number 22 will be somebody to circle in right there in the white and green.
Yeah, both teams are very strong defensively. They're playing a 5-4, playing one player up top, the Warriors, and you got to find that top player. She's a freshman and very creative.
22 and 23 for Smithville. Paige Imhoff and Kelsey Mothershed have been the go-to 1-2 punch for this Warrior team, both offensively and defensively, playing around the net. For Rosati-Kain, they really like to balance it out, and they have a trifecta. Taisha Potos, as well as Amanda Schad, or Sarah, Amanda Schad and Sarah Schott. Those are the three players that really have been the goal scorers for this Cougars team. As we start here in the early on, and much like every game, just trying to figure out what the other team's going to present in a 4-5-1, like what we're going to see out of Smithville. That's a little bit different than what you're going to see most days from teams out on the field.
Yeah, they're trying to settle in to see what the other team has to bring at them, and trying to get into a rhythm, make sure they're not making any early mistakes.
And trickling through, and Smithville here on the early attack, kind of breathe a sigh of relief for the Cougars as they let their guard down right there, as the keeper trying to chase back and get the ball back. Another attack by Smithville here early on, very aggressive here in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to give up anything early, that's for sure.
Shot on goal by number 27, Katie Kroll.
Goalkeeper came out,
Rosati-Kain goal kick.
cleared the ball, but didn't clear it far enough, and the Warriors got a shot off.
Smithville from Smithville, Missouri, the closest team to make the trek over here for the Class 2 championships.
It's a great run.
They've got a chance there on the far side, but Smithville will be able to defend it and push it out. And a little aggressive right there through an elbow, and a rough hit right there. And that's not comfortable no matter how you look at it. She is in writhing pain. That's a rough play.
Yeah,
that
was a hard play. Looked like she was going to shield the ball going out of bounds, and just gave a little bit of extra push to her there. She's still down, and looks like she can be in a lot of pain there.
And having head coach Bill Taylor walk over there and try to take a look, and That left shoulder definitely seems to be the source of pain. It looks, she's pointing to her elbow, so that entire left arm just uncomfortable. Let's take a look at it, Chris. Something like this normally isn't how you would regularly fall, but a block by Henshaw.
And she's shielding the ball out, and then, yeah, it looks like she fell awkward there and fell in the arm got caught underneath her body. Twisted it up a little bit. Didn't look good.
You just see that whole body just kind of torque underneath that left arm, and she immediately knew that that was something very uncomfortable, and she's more than likely done for the afternoon on something like that. And that's just a bad way to start off a state championship atmosphere.
Yeah, you know, losing a player early on, one of your starters, not a good way to start at all.
And it's Sarah Schott, the sophomore forward, and it looks like she might have dislocated her elbow right there. And so it's tough for a team to see that on a leader you look for on the field as a starter. But now you got to take that person out of the game here early on, and then you have to deal with the emotional aspect. That's a lot for a coach to try to kind of gather here in the first 2.5 minutes of your state semifinal match.
Yeah, it is. And as a coach, you're obviously worried about that player, and you're looking forward. You really have to try to get past it. Unfortunately, you don't want those incidents to happen for sure. The team has to keep their composure, bring somebody else on to help the team win.
Mothershed and Imhoff, the 1-2 combo for the Warriors. Smooth little play there by Mothershed. We're starting to see the entire repertoire get busted out here in the early going.
Yeah, being a lone forward out there, you really have to work really hard and try to create space for yourself. And she's got some speed.
14 to 15-year-old going out there and having to just be the lone wolf out there for your team and have to be the entire offensive setup. How hard is that for two forwards to be out there, much less one?
You know what? As a lone forward, it is very hard because now there's a lot put on your shoulders. You have to try to create things. Hopefully they can find her, and it looks like she's pretty confident for a freshman.
With 46 goals on the year, I think at some point she's got to be comfortable in her abilities. She is a goal scorer and can really clean up around the net. Has a player in Paige Imhoff that can feed it. And actually both of Imhoffs do a good job of pushing the ball in. But when you have those 4 and 5 bodies, those other 8 and 9 people behind you pushing the ball, that kind of sets up roles that really are important to the flow of the game.
And everybody has to know their role. You're exactly right, Kyle. Everybody has to know their role, and if everybody's playing their role the right way, that's when things seem to fall into place.
Well, the keeper, Kessler, forwarding that ball on as she drops back into the net. And this is a little rough and tumble game we've seen so far, as both teams have come out and trying to, as you've talked about, need to have that spark or that aggressiveness that kind of takes hold of the match. Right now, both teams are trying to grab that.
They are, and it is physical right now. We've already had one injury, and they're not afraid to put their bodies on each other. And it looks like it's going to be a physical game.
Attention, please.
Each team is trying to set the tone.
Rosati-Kain player, as well as
that's what you need to do.
Please report to the north gate by the track shed.
Right now, what we kind of see out of Rosati-Kain is kind of dropping back a little bit more, keeping those 3 and 4 defenders back, kind of cautious of and respecting Mothershed so far.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't really seen anybody out of the back get forward yet, and we're gonna again. They're still getting a feel for each other, testing each other. I guarantee you we'll see that in the near future here, where the backs are starting to get forward into the attack.
Both teams kind of alternating possessions right now. little bit more spread out. The winner will take on St. Dominic for a chance at a state championship. In Class 2 girls soccer is Mothershed running all over the field, covering 30 yards worth of distance.
And that's good to see. You know, she's going to be buzzing up there probably most of the game, I'm sure.
Here's an opportunity for Kelsey Denninger. Good back and forth defense there on the corner. Smithville hopping around all over. Tenacious defense here by the Warriors early on, and we're in the first 10 minutes, and you can definitely see both teams have come out and have taken the later start and are really using that to their advantage.
It is very physical right now. Nobody's backing down, and that's the way it has to be. One of these teams is going to give, though, and you don't want to be that team. And we'll just see how things go later in the game.
In a matter of conditioning and how you set up your team, does it matter how you set up your defense and formation-wise as to how well conditioned your team is going to have to be for that match?
That's really important. That first of all, the fitness level has to be there. Talking to the coaches before the game, they are more both teams are more defensively oriented, and you can tell that. But you have to build your team around what kind of defense you play and the roles of the players.
Mothershed again trying to sneak in there. That's 2 or 3 times she's already forced herself into the box and forcing Kessler to make us another grab. And Kessler's got a boot on her right there. That's twice we've seen her really kind of change field position.
She does cover a lot of space. The coach said earlier that she can cover a lot of space, and she does. She knocking the ball over midfield is something you wanted out of the goalkeeper.
Rosati-Kain comes in as the District 4 champions, 22-6-1 on the year. Smithville 22-3, District 15 champions, and a team that is kind of starting to build some tradition with their soccer program. Up until 2008, had never seen a state championship Final Four semifinal opportunity, but since 2008 and a 3rd place finish, they've been to the state tournament, now making this their 5th opportunity to come here, their 4th opportunity, and really starting to build something in a town and in a sport that we always see in the championships, private schools or parochial schools making it here into the Final Four. Smithville kind of breaking the mold as a public school here in Class 2.
You know, that's a contributor to the coaching, and I tell you that's going to go on. You're building a tradition and the team and the foundation, and that's what you want. You need that.
Ball pushed ahead, and Smithville really trying to find that groove and nearly got it off to Imenhoff, but booted around by Rosati-Kain. And that defense, those 3 girls are really hanging back and creating quite a nice little pocket for Kessler and to kind of direct traffic. Corner kick, though, coming up for the Warriors.
Corner kick being taken by number 27,
The
Katie
pressure
Kroll.
cover in the back has been great. The corner kick here, and nice ball.
Rosati-Kain goal kick.
Knocked out by Smithville. Or excuse me, last knocked out by Rosati-Kain. So Smithville will have another opportunity on that corner, and really something like this could change the momentum here 10 minutes in.
You don't want to give up too many corner kicks. That's a very dangerous situation to be in. Just the least amount of corner kicks you can give up, the better.
We saw right there, though, a moment where Mothershed's playing in the middle, comes all the way out to force that ball out after it bounced around, and Rosati-Kain had a chance to counter that corner kick. She covers a lot of ground. We've talked about it, but really until you see that speed, I think even Rosati-Kain was a little surprised at how much she's able to do here in the first go of it.
And that's going to be a factor.
Well played ball out, though. Rosati-Kain with a chance, and a good job of the defense by Smithville. Callie Hinshaw got out there and really kind of diverted it over to Jordan Lewis and keeper.
Yeah, she cut the angle off very well. It's a great little ball here, through ball. Defensively, goalkeeper played it perfect. Cutting off the angle, defender played her into the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper makes a save, did a great job.
Important job of using angles for Smithville here to keep this at a 0-0 tie here in the first half. Class 2 girls soccer semifinal here at Blue Springs South High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. And this very athletic Smithville team a lot of people have seen play in Columbia at the Missouri State Basketball Championships the past 2 seasons in the Final Four, makes a Final Four appearance here again in girls soccer. And last year,
check in for Smithville, number 8, Chelsea Long.
Smithville felt like maybe that was a team that could have gone a little bit further. They were bounced out after winning their district.
That just goes to show you what kind of athletes you have on this team, being great basketball players and as well as soccer players.
And a shot directly on goal and a good running kick at least by Mothershed.
She got all of that one. If it would have gone right or left, that could have been in the back of the net. Very, very well struck ball here. Sets herself up, falls through. Kind of a knuckleball, and those are, for a goalkeeper, those sometimes can be very hard to handle. Her catching that was very good. A lot of times you want to knock that ball over the top, but is well hit.
Well, when you're a keeper, something like that, do you wait for the ball to? At what point do you start to make your break on the ball if it's going to give you a knuckleball like that?
You know, it's last minute decisions you got to be making, and play it safe. A lot of times when keepers try to catch a ball like that, it maybe hit too hard and go through her hands. But she played it well.
Smithville, the early aggressive team here, keeping the ball on Rosati-Kain's side of the field. Even with just that one forward lineup, able to put plenty of pressure here on the Cougars early on.
Hey, Cal, if you notice that things have kind of settled in now, and they're starting to knock the ball around and creating some opportunities on both sides.
Rosati-Kain trying to counter. Getting here on the near side, but good job by Smithville. Kylie Nelson on the near side forces it out, and something like that, you're just looking to get your team just stopping at that point, correct?
Yeah. You just, Nelson did a great job defending there, and you know, as long as your player doesn't beat you, and that's what she's done a good job. Play the ball back or out of bounds. You've done your job.
Cruel bounces in to Killingsworth of Rosati-Kain, and more physical play from these ladies here in the first half.
This could be an opportunity here.
Well-placed ball. And you like to see your keeper come out that far?
Keeper was off her line, yeah. She read the ball well. She saw that it was going to be a through ball, and she was off her line there, which was good. It's all about timing sometimes, and you got to read that. You got to be as a keeper. You got to read that through ball. It's a nice ball through, and the keeper came off her line, read it well. Probably could have got a little better clearance on it, but yeah, played it safe.
Cougars on the attack again, and again winding into the hands of Jordan Lewis, and she has done a good job of just stopping, just doing what you ask.
Yeah, they use their bodies very well in the back, the speed and shielding the ball, so the goalkeeper can make a play. Smithville has quite a bit of speed in the back, and they know how to use their bodies.
Past couple runs done by number 22 right there, Brittany Scholler, the junior forward, and she's pushing that far side, and at that point, are you trying to break the angle, or are you just trying to see what the defense will do when you do certain things with attack?
Yeah, again, she's testing them. She's running at players, and you want to match yourself up. As a forward, I want to match myself up against the defender that I think I can beat as far as speed, and she's definitely testing them.
Rosati-Kain now starting to get more and more opportunities. More bodies pushed forward, and an opportunity right there just out of their grasp. As Amanda Schott not able to get to it in time.
And Smithville had trouble clearing the ball there, and the pressure from Rosati-Kain was a little bit much for him. And you know what, when you're on your heels like that in the back, sometimes the force could be a little tough there.
Right now, Smithville's just trying to get it pushed back and give an opportunity for Kelsey Mothershed, number 22, to go ahead and make a run on it. And that's probably not what the Cougars were wanting.
She probably should have taken a touch there. The ball was played back. She had time to control the ball and set something up, and decided to first time it, and that's a hard ball. It's a hard ball for anybody.
But still able to hold back and keep Smithville from getting a run. As now the Cougars just slowly matriculating the ball down the field with these out of bounds plays.
The Smithville defense has dropped back. They have almost playing with a sweeper, which is hard to beat, but it also creates a lot of space for Rosati-Kain. That deep player there.
Smithville trying to play it out in front and bobbled a little bit by Kessler, but she's able to grab it in time. It's Katie Kessler.
Yeah, hopefully she's still not thinking about that last one. She kicked out of bounds with that. Got to get back into the play here.
Got to have a short-term memory right there. Is right now a run by Rosati-Kain. And they play it out in a good defense. Stepping in front of it, Callie Henshaw. And it looked like Jordan Luce was going to have to make another save, but Warriors on the defensive job right here, and a good run set up by this pass right here.
Yeah, it was a great run, and actually she got her hips around with a nice little ball across, and a great defensive play, not letting that ball get across.
And another good defensive stop by Smithville as they continue to come up and thwart the attacks of the Cougars.
Keeper did well to read that and came off her line and grabbed it out of the air. Great stuff.
And now ball's just kind of going back and forth between the two. As you could, it's clearly identified what Smithville is going to try to do. Get the ball ahead to Imhoff to force it to Mothershed, or just get it to Mothershed over the top. But right now, Rosati-Kain is just dropping back 3 defenders and is really keeping that as a limit.
Yeah, they are playing their defense back, and actually the counter is what may kill Smithville. They're letting balls drop in the back, not winning the first ball, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to break loose. One of these teams is really going to break through us and get one.
Smithville, not a team that necessarily substitutes a whole lot. They've got the shortest lineup of most teams here, with as far down the bench that they'll go, but they still have an endurance team. The team that plays is the team that plays the majority of the minutes.
Fitness level comes into play there. They have to be able to go the full distance, and nothing wrong with that. Like consistency, and we have a free kick, and this could be pretty dangerous. I'm surprised they don't have a wall in front of the ball.
Madeline Royal, shot blocked up by that small wall that they were able to put on, and finally just booted over by Rosati-Kain. But Smithville right now kind of playing on the back of their heels and just trying to get that home run ball to play ahead.
Yeah, she struck the ball well, just struck it into some players right in front, and the follow-up was a little bit over. She's got to get over that ball, put it on target.
out of the play you've seen right now, it seems that Rosati-Kain's a very technically sound team. They keep their spacing relatively well.
Yeah, they are opening up the field and moving the ball. They like to go up the right side quite a bit, and for obvious reasons, they've been pretty successful getting into the box on this side. Now you see them going up the left side and trying to make something happen there.
But a nice give and take between the two teams, answering each other with defensive stand after defensive stand. Smithville looking for that one big answer, though. That one big response with Kelsey Mothershed, and she has it on the far side. Working against half of the Rosati-Kain defense.
And she's done well to keep the ball after being pushed off a little bit, and they have to deal with her speed, and she has a lot of speed, and she's really tenacious up front.
Well, the player who has like Mothershed, who's asked to be that forward front, the one that sparks all the offense. At some point, she's going to have to dish it off and look for help. I mean, does that become a mental thing too, where you're expected to do everything and now dish it off occasionally?
You know, and that's what she has to. She has to be that deceptive player where she can hold onto the ball quite a bit. And then now that more players come to her, that's where she has to get ahead and look and find that open player to complete the play.
Big effort there by Kylie Nelson just over the crossbar. And it just seems like long-range shots are really what Smithville's doing. And they're hitting them accurately. They're not missing by too awful much and really testing Kessler's side to side.
Yeah, you know what? And you don't see that often enough in soccer. Taking the chances from outside the 18. Smithville's done very well. They try to hit the target from outside. They don't have to walk the ball in. Again, they test the goalkeeper from outside. See what she's about.
Putting some early pressure here as we are over midway through the first half. Still a 0-0 score. The girls' state soccer semifinal in Class 2. And it could be an opportunity here for a counter if Rosati-Kain can get enough forward movement.
Nice turn. She's done well to keep it. This could be an opportunity here, but not enough on that pass.
An opportunity where it kind of came to a little bit of a standstill there in the middle, not able to find enough help in enough time, and Smithville able to recover out of that. Another Cougar trickles onto the field for Rosati-Kain as they rotate girls nearly every other stoppage.
Trying to get that right combination on, it looks like, and trying to find that so they can find a rhythm.
And they're going to hit Mothershed right there with the a little overly aggressive.
Yeah, she's dropped back, trying to play a little defense, and unfortunately gets a foul called against her in a dangerous situation.
So another free kick here for Rosati-Kain. An opportunity to strike for the Cougars and break open this 0-0 tie. Ball in and hit right directly at the keeper, Lewis.
Yeah, good thought. You just want to try and keep that ball out of the keeper's hands and make it a little bit more dangerous of a ball.
Smithville trying to respond. They've had some close calls. Played on the far side, and Kessler's going to pick that up. Active goalkeeping here so far between both teams. They really seem to not rely on their keeper, but have the ability to trust their keeper to make those plays.
Yeah, both keepers have been involved, and both been pretty solid so far. Very aggressive, both of them. And you need a keeper like that.
Substitution for the Cougars.
Another substitution.
Number 6, Megan Anderson
2 Warriors for 1 Cougar.
Nelson, number 27, Katie Kroll.
Switch out and kind of coaches are trying to set up their lineup to get one final push here. Maybe a fresh pair of eyes to see the field, and sometimes that gets to be a point when you're in just a this much of a standstill.
Yeah, you know what? And while you're on the bench and you're looking at the situation, you may see different things that players on the field don't see as a player, and hopefully a lot of these players are smart enough to see things.
Mothershed some quick footwork out there. She pushes it back in, and she has an opportunity. Another close ball by Smithville.
Great ball, great
Rosati-Kain
one-to-one situation to cross it. Looked like, unfortunately, the ball went out of
Photo
bounds.
from Columbia is the official photographer of the MSHSAA Championships. For action photos of today's matches, team photos and mementos, see today's program.
Paige Imhoff flicking that ball in towards the middle of the field. And Imhoff and Mothershed have really been a dangerous combination for the Smithville Warriors this year.
They and continue to do that. They're putting pressure on their backs, creating opportunities, and they're forced to be handled.
Imhoff with 9 assists on the year, but 23 points. 94 points for Mothershed as she has 46 goals. Excuse me, she has over 100 points then. And they're trying to be a little more aggressive, and they're going to call Mothershed. And Chris, what happened here?
You know what? Just 2 very aggressive players getting after it, and looks like unfortunately Mothershed got called for the foul, and you know what? It's just good hard soccer right there.
When you have a player like, and we just keep, you know, it's semi-unusual to see a 1-forward lineup, especially in high school soccer. You kind of have to have that mentality of just being the over-aggressive one as that person.
And when you have a player like that, Kyle, you can play that formation because she's going to create havoc up front, and she's going to create chances. And if you can get the player the ball that you need to, that's playing up top, that's a player like that, you're gonna win some games. And obviously they've done it.
Rosati-Kain has bounced back quite mightily after losing Sarah's shot early on in the game. Undisclosed injury, but more than likely a dislocated elbow, and looked very painful in the first couple minutes. Going for a ball, and you know that's an emotional thing to have to work through. They've done it and have really kind of continued getting into a groove of play.
Yeah, it's really something you don't want to lose one of your starters at the beginning of the game. Rosati's bounced back, and hate to see a player go off early and with any kind of injury. But they've managed to continue to play and keep their heads up and create some opportunities.
You know, Chris, we've seen some aggressive play in this game so far. In a match like this for a state semifinal, the officials are probably going to let things go a little bit more relaxed, at least in the tackles and the aggressive play every time. It seems like. Yeah,
the officials are done. They're letting them play. Again, they fill the game out as well. Obviously, you don't want players getting hurt, but they're letting the play go and call the right. They're calling the right fouls.
More hard plays as we've talked about it. Just 2 back-to-back plays. Bodies flying all over the field here in this first half.
These are 2 aggressive teams, and again, you know, they're beating each other down, trying to fill each other out. And one of them's going to break. It'll be interesting to see which team breaks.
Rosati plays it out. It's a dangerous ball, 50-50, and Smithville's able to get to it before.
Good roll with that.
Now they'll play it ahead to Mothershed, and I think she's got about 3 shadows on this afternoon when there's no sun out.
Yes, he seems to be all over the place.
Inside of 10 minutes here in the first half, Rosati-Kain and Smithville knotted up at zeros. And An opportunity to meet St. Dominic in the state championship is on the line.
Both teams have been pretty successful and created chances from the outside, and I would continue to, as a coach, I would continue to try to attack the flanks, get good services in, and create more chances.
And Chris, we talk about the very strict and good ball handling, very skill set of Rosati-Kain. It's not that Smithville doesn't have that, but they just seem a little bit more relying on their athleticism. Is that a fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment, and I think that's probably how they've won a lot of games. They are very athletic and very fast at that. It's more of an over-the-top type of game for them. Knock it over the top and try to create those chances. Whereas Rosati-Kain is keeping the ball on the ground, trying to connect passes, connecting and switching the ball. It's a dangerous ball there.
Played into the middle, and Smithville able to force it out. Cruel will just continue to kick it down, but the way Smithville has just kind of compacted themselves, and they'll just play 8 and 9 back. They are really forcing themselves to hit on those home run balls that they've kicked out. And that's the game plan. That's what Coach Reed talked about before the game. He said, we're just going to have to push a couple balls and hope we get them over their head and we can get up to it.
Yeah, he said they've been very successful defensively, and they have. And again, it only takes one goal, 1-0 to win a game. And that's what they're looking to do is play hard defense and not give anything up and try to create something.
Here's a ball in the middle and up and cross, and a good job of Lewis grabbing a hold of that one as she saves and bails out her team yet again and continues to have a good eye for the ball, able to see it off the foot relatively easily and make a play for it.
Yeah, she anticipated that ball very well. And here's what the Warriors are looking to do is counterattack and now they get a corner out of it to get the ball up quickly.
Let's take a look at what Jordan Lewis was able to pull off right there.
Again, a dangerous ball in. It bounces in the box, something I don't really want ever to happen, and she comes out, times it well, grabs onto it and secures it, and then the quick release out for the counter.
And that's what you want, though. You want your keeper to go out and get it instead of being the one to try to catch and retract off of it.
Seen so many goals scored that way where keepers stay on their line and wait for the ball.
Not to be outdone, Katie Kessler on the other end grabs that one, and both teams seeing their keepers step up big and grab balls that are 50-50 in the air and just taking that element out.
Yeah, she did well as well to win that and grab that ball and secure it. Here again, playing off her line and scooping the ball up.
Madison Nelson tried to get that out to Kelsey Mothershed, but just a little far for Mothershed to make a good run at. Another change of bodies and constant rotation between both teams, trying to find that right combination and also trying to make sure you have girls running at optimum.
Yeah, you have fresh legs coming on, and
in the lineup for the Cougars,
and they should be able to run all day when they get on after a little bit of rest, and that's for Smithville that could create a problem.
Tasha Potus, also number 22, Brittany Schauer.
Smithville now has had a couple good runs, has had opportunities really threaten against Katie Kessler, and Mothershed takes one off the nose.
Yeah, that doesn't feel too good. It's happened to me way too many times, and you gotta shake that off and continue to play. And I think she will. She's a tough player, and she'll forget about that in a couple seconds.
As aggressive as these teams we've seen them play here in the first half, it's a surprise that the teams have been relatively, barring Schott's injury, have been relatively healthy and been able to bounce back up and keep playing. Hasn't been slowed, hasn't changed the change of pace as another shot put on goal. And at this point, can't really take a break and wait for the ball. If you wait, these teams are going to come up and grab it ahead on both sides, both for the purple and for the white.
Yeah, you got to continually be thinking the next play, and what I mean by that is if you turn your back or turn your back on the ball at any moment, it could be a counterattack or ball bounce in the wrong place, and you're not prepared for it. So got to continue to work, think the next play.
Rosati-Kain trying to push it back down into Smithville territory. Smithville coming up big with defensive stand after defensive stand, answering each one of the Cougars' attacks. Same thing for Smithville trying to score on Rosati-Kain, just unable to do it as Mothershed's bounced around. She, like a pinball, just hops around. Now she's going to take on 4 defenders. And at that point, is she just trying to hope to get a flag to pop up on a penalty?
Yeah, you know, and maybe more trying for a corner kick. But if you notice, she got knocked off the ball, and the next person to have the ball was Mothershed, and she turned it on. She is a workhorse out there.
46 goals on the season, an impressive mark. And even more so when you factor in she's only a freshman. Plenty of room to grow and plenty of space to develop in her skill set. Rosati-Kain does it on a team aspect. They bring about 3 up to the front and are coming at all angles. Very disciplined and sound team from the St. Louis area.
And Rosati-Kain is more looking to play the ball into a target player and play off that player, making runs off the player and creating different opportunities at the top of the 18.
Turning on a dime is Mothershed as she attacks. Little fancy footwork, met up into the defense, and she's still standing, knocking down bodies as she goes.
Yeah, if she keeps that up all game, she's bound to get one. She'll wear the defense down. And here she is with the ball again, and just making things happen.
Opportunity is long, passes out to the far side. Ball in the middle and just too high. Really had Rosati-Kain on the back of their heels and just too high on that opportunity, and really was a well-played ball across the middle.
It's a great ball across, great opportunity. Ball rolls across. You know what? She just got her head up too early and got underneath the ball and knocked it over. That doesn't happen too often with this team. So, but a great opportunity. I guess she wished she had that back.
Katie Krull just missing, but a good ball by Paige Imhoff, and Imhoff, that's kind of become her MO, is playing that into the middle. Just about 1 minute remaining here in the first half, and both these teams would like to have the advantage heading into halftime, but it is going to take a mighty effort against these defenses. But I'm sure both these teams would enjoy a break at the pace these two have gone back and forth, countering and re-countering each one of the attacks.
Yeah, the pace has been very high, back and forth. Not only that, the physical play has been high as well.
Ball in the middle. Rosati-Kain had an opportunity to get right into the hands of Jordan Lewis as she snatches another one. On the counter. Short time working for Smithville. They have time to set something up. They play it ahead to Mothershed and just bounced around, and Imhoff going to reset and just give her an opportunity.
When you have a player like Mothershed, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to try and get the ball into space for her to run onto, use her speed. And that's what they're looking to try and do in creativity with her.
Well, it was an exciting one, regardless of the fact that the score reads 0-0. Physical and exciting for both Smithville and Rosati-Kain. Just what you want out of a Class II semifinal matchup. We'll be coming back with the second half just after this. It's all zeros here in the Class 2 soccer semifinal between Rosati-Kain and Smithville. Stay tuned for more action coming up next on Time Warner Cable Metro Sports. We've got ourselves a good one between Rosati-Kain and Smithville here in the Class 2 soccer semifinal of Girls State in Missouri. Stay tuned. We'll have more action coming up next on Time Warner Cable Metro Sports. Halftime of Rosati-Kain and Smithville here for the Class 2 soccer semifinals at Blue Springs South High School. Second half action just up ahead here on Time Warner Cable Metro Sports. We've got ourselves a good one. All zeros here in the first half between Smithville and Rosati-Kain of Game 2. Winner takes on St. Dominic for the Class 2 Girls State Missouri Championship. Alongside Chris Duke, I'm Kyle Haas. And there's some physical and exciting play we saw in the first half. Nothing transpired in the way of scoring a goal, but a lot of close chances.
A lot of opportunities for both teams. Both teams have come out. They both are eager to win this game. And, you've seen it by the physical play and also the chances both teams have created.
Well, the two will flip field, but it doesn't really matter too much. We haven't seen wind factor in as a play, as it's an overcast afternoon here.
And it's a beautiful day for soccer, and both teams should be thankful there isn't a wind. They can play some nice soccer, keep the ball on the ground, and make some things happen here. And that seems to be the way things are going.
Coming out of the second half, and it's more of the same as Kelsey Mothershed continues to be the aggressor. Kelsey Cruel with another long attempt, and that's kind of the MO for Smithville. Attack from far away and really try to get some bounces to go to your side.
Yeah, again, trying to create some chances from outside, taking long shots. One of these is going to get a great hit and hopefully get a chance to score.
Coming out here in the second half, I mean, Rosati-Kain is a much more structured type of offense and defense, the way they play and they pass. I mean, if you're Coach Taylor coming out, what's your strategy?
You know, I like the way they're playing. They're again trying to find a target player up top and play the ball on the feet and run off of that player and try to create numbers up. Whereas Smithville they're doing what they do best. Find that top player in Mothershed to run and create chances, and both teams are playing, sticking to their game plan.
Well, you talked about that physical play and really trying to move the ball ahead. Is there any concern that the officials might try to tighten it up here in the second half and try to make sure things don't get too out of hand? Because we saw some aggressive play. A player already went down. Sarah shot for Rosati-Kain. Any fear that the officials might come into a play and try to hone this game in a little bit?
Yeah,
or let the girls run?
Yeah, if the play continues like it is and it gets a little worse, they may try to bring it back a little bit and bring it under control. But for the most part, he's letting them play, and we'll see how the game goes.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say frustration may set in for teams not scoring, and the physical play may step up.
Well, what I've just been noticing is how Smithville quick on getting the ball. When the ball's immediately out of bounds, they're right back to throw it back in, not wasting any time. Really want to keep the momentum and keep the pressure on the Cougars here in the early going.
Quick restarts. Again, like I said, the next play, I said in the first half, the next play is the most important play. And if you catch them off guard, something may happen.
Now we've seen the keeper play really kind of come in well in that first half. At some point, getting enough shots on goal, you might be able to get one through. Anything that really struck you on either side between both sides of the defense that could become a concern?
Yeah, as far as playing deep, the Rosati-Kain team, they dropped back quite a bit, and that could be. And the reason they're doing it is because of Mother Shield. I think they're playing her. They're on the defensive a little bit and making sure she doesn't get through. That could be a key factor. They have to make sure their pressure cover in the back, keep her from getting through. And on the Warrior side, you're dealing with not letting players turn.
Rosati-Kain here on their first real chance to make a strike on Smithville, and Smithville just trying to keep it in front and force it out.
And the numbers up on Rosati-Kain compared to Smithville, you see they have 4 getting involved in the attack, which puts the pressure on Smithville.
Another ball grabbed up by Jordan Lewis, who had a very busy first half. but has had a good job of at least reading it off the foot and making a play on the ball up in the air.
Yeah, she's had a great first half, and continuing that way. Reads the play very well in the back, and as a goalkeeper, you have to be able to do that. Don't want to get caught flat-footed, excuse me, or off, not being off your line.
Two teams continuing to still try to fill each other out, and it slowed down. That first couple minutes, it was back to the same pace, but I think both teams have realized if they keep that up, they may not last the full 80 minutes here this afternoon at that tempo.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep that up. They kept it up pretty much in the first half, and for a whole game, it's very hard. Like I said, one of the teams is going to break either physically or fatigue's going to set in.
The winner of this match will take on St. Dominic for the Class II Girls State Championship. St. Dominic a winner over Helias Catholic 3-0 in the semifinal game 1. Both these teams looking for their first state championship. And another foul against Mothershed, and that aggressive play of hers has started to mount up now as the third time she's been called for this, something like this.
Yeah, she's trying to take the player 1v1, and I think the little frustration of losing the ball creates a foul or commits a foul, and now Rosetta's coming out.
Rosati-Kain still playing it into the middle. They've got a chance to get on the corner, but a good recovery by Megan Sperry. And she forces that out to a throw. Rosati-Kain trying to get something to work through. They really haven't had a good solid strike on the goal. They've had a couple opportunities where Lewis had to make it play. But Smithville's defense has really been impressive in another case like this.
Here you see a ball, nice little ball through. Great defense. Again, the shielding. And Warriors have been very good at shielding the ball, protecting the ball.
Mothershed gets it out ahead, and at some point I'm sure she would really like a chance to break through and run, but she's had the handcuffs put onto her by this Rosati-Kain defense. Played back into the middle, header, and it's in!
Great goal. That surprised her a little bit.
Impressive for the angle that she was able to hit with it, and also the way she was able to direct it, but an impressive job by Taisha Potos of Rosati-Kain, a player that said she was so ecstatic to have a chance to play here in the Final Four.
She sets her up, knocks a great little ball, and all she does is redirect it toward the goal, and gets all of it off her head, and it's a great finish. The redirection of the ball, and that's all you got to get. Make sure you're redirecting it toward the goal, and good things happen.
Well, that was what we would expect is finally something able to break through, and it was a hole in the middle of the Smithville defense that Rosati-Kain was able to break through, and they'd really like to be able to tear this open before Smithville is able to grab a hold and call them back down into the game. Goal coming in the 49th minute. Let me take one more look at this, and really, how difficult of a play is this to redirect it with your head? Like
you know what? It's very difficult. First of all, you gotta your body position has to be the right way, and as a matter of fact, she gets hit as she's trying to redirect it, which makes it even harder. And it's not an easy task, but she did well with it. She got her eye on the ball and good body position, and a great finish from distance as well.
We've talked at length about both these keepers being able to read it off, and I think that's one of those plays where Lewis can't really be at fault. That's just a great job by Potos being able to redirect the ball in an awkward position. It's not in a position you would normally get a header to roll into the net.
No, not at all. And I agree with you with Lewis. I mean, that's a hard ball to save for a goalkeeper. Bouncing ball coming and hit with a little bit of pace toward the corner. Very hard ball to, if it was in the air, could have been an easier ball to save, but that's a perfect head to the corner.
So 10 minutes in here to our second half. Rosati-Kain leads Smithville 1-0. Rosati-Kain would love an opportunity for a rematch against St. Dominic, a game they lost earlier this year on a score of 1-0 at home. So they are familiar with the opponent that might be waiting for them on the other side. Smithville kind of carrying the banner for Western Missouri. Plenty of St. Louis schools and eastern side of Missouri schools represented here in the state championships, but Smithville really the lone team west of Columbia. Elias from Jefferson City, obviously, but Smithville kind of out on the lone, the public school being represented, carrying a lot of weight and a lot of pressure in a circumstance like this.
Yeah, and you know, it's players are in this area and around the area here. Girls soccer is growing in the quality of soccer in this area, and St. Louis is rising. It's good to see that. It's very good to see that with all the new leagues out there nationally and MRL, ECNL. It's good stuff.
Is there something where a style of play might be different from what you would see in Kansas City's metro area to what you might see in Jefferson City and Columbia to even what you'll see in St. Louis? I mean, is the style of play that different even in a state?
Yeah, it surely can be. There's teams I've seen, especially in this area, and I'm the coach in this area where we try and the technical abilities is very important, and we want to see them try to play soccer, because when they go to the next level, you have to have that technical ability. And I'm not saying that any of the other areas around here don't try to produce great technical players, but we've just joined with KCFC and Blue Valley Soccer Club and formed a powerhouse, and that's one of the things we're gonna try to produce, these players that can actually play the game, and the technical ability is a big part of that.
Hinshaw on a long run and trying to force it out and get it out to Mothershed on the far side. She'll have to cut back in. She runs straight into the defense, still rebounding half of it. This is the first long run by Smithville we've seen here in the second half, and booted outward by Rosati-Kain. To continue on to that point, what does a move of that merger, really say to the rest of anybody else here in the Midwest or nationally when something like that it kind of comes together?
Yeah, and one of the reasons that the merger happened was to try to create teams that. And it has to compete on a national level in the Midwest, and we think we've done that. It's going to be a great force. There's a lot of talent. We're producing players that are playing for the country and with the U.S. national team, and that's the whole basis around it, bringing good coaches and great players together.
Now compare that to what you might see in something like St. Louis. St. Louis has had the tradition of being a very soccer-savvy town, and it's showcased in every year, and they have plenty of high schools and preparatory schools that are competing for state championships in both boys and girls soccer. I mean, talk about the contrast, I guess, between the two.
Soccer in St. Louis has always been good, especially when I was growing up. There were some great players that have come out of St. Louis. I think, and maybe I'm a little biased, but I think we've caught up and surpassed them in as far as talent pool. The style of soccer is similar, but coaching in St. Louis is great as well as it is here. I think it's just for the Midwest in general. It's a lot of talent in this area.
Ball played out against Cruel, and so Smithville will try to find a way to get back into this, down 1-0. As Rosati-Kain's smothering defense continues. You just force the Warriors' attack out, and really you start to see the wind kind of dropped out of the sails early on after that goal. Smithville needs something to respond right now, and you kind of see the urgency by some of the more veteran leaders on this team.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the difference in the urgency. Being a goal down, got to work that much harder to get that goal back, get the equalizer. And that's in. You got to raise the tempo a little bit.
So chance here with a free kick, and this is where Smithville has been dangerous. They've been able to put it close to the net. And it'll be Callie Hinshaw with an opportunity. Smithville kind of staggered themselves out. Hoping to grab one with a header. Ball up.
Dangerous ball there. Very dangerous.
It's around the net just where Smithville wants it, and just barely grabbed by Katie Castle. And another impressive job by the Cat in net.
Yeah.
We talked about it. That was a dangerous ball Hinshaw put up.
Put it right where she needed to put it. Unfortunately, no one got their head on it. The ball bounces around a little bit, and the keeper comes up with a great save. She would have hit that a little harder. Could have gone in. Great save by the keeper, though. She did a great job.
Chalk that up as another missed opportunity for the Warriors. They have been knocking on the door all afternoon, just not able to walk in yet. One to nothing in favor of Rosati-Kain over Smithville in the Class II state semifinal matchup. And Rosati-Kain continuing to push it up and gets it right back in to Potos, who had an impressive header earlier.
Potos has been a great target player. They've knocked balls into her, been able to hold.
A poorly cleared ball, but a good job by Lewis.
Lewis does a great job holding on to that ball. Again, you've got to be able to clear the ball out. Things like that happen. Don't give them any opportunities to score. But great goalkeeping there.
Farrell with just hit it right towards her. And Smithville kind of breathing a sigh of relief after this poorly cleared ball.
Yeah, Lewis looks like she second-guessed herself the first time, and again, it was a good ball in. And she comes up with the ball right in her hands, but it was not an easy ball to save. It was hit pretty hard.
So living dangerously are the Warriors as they trail 1-0. Still looking for that big home run hit that they've gotten all year. Potos's opportunities stop, but Smithville right now seems to be a little off their game, just a little off kilter. Rosati-Kain obviously picking up confidence after that goal. They fire in an opportunity and punched away by Lewis.
That's the ball on top. That's a great save. Not being able to grab it. Those are the balls that got to punch over, and she did well to do that. But a great hit. Set herself up here. Rebound here and hit it with her left foot. Those are the balls that dip in. If she wouldn't have gotten her hands on that, that guy was in the back of the net.
An impressive ball put in, and even more impressive stop as Rosati-Kain plays it in front. Bounced around back in front of the net and having trouble clearing it all the way out.
Smithville's having a very hard time clearing the ball, and they have to get the ball out of that box.
Aggressive play, no call. Ball bounced around as well as many bodies, and now it's pushing and shoving, starting to pick up inside.
Yeah, now this is where it's getting a little physical.
See the ball right there, and
Smithville goal kick coming up.
Physical play, shoulder tackle, could have been a foul. Looked like a foul, but referees allowing the play and not blowing his whistle.
Smithville trying to do everything they can to get the ball clear, but Rosati-Kain just flying at them, literally and figuratively, with all their attacks and attempts. Heimhoff has been relatively quiet here in the second half, and she's been the main go-to to set up Smithville's offense, and here she is in the middle. And just stopped, just stone cold stop by Royer, Kelsey Royer. And this Rosati-Kain Cougar defense has really kind of answered the bell here in the second half.
It's going to be a lot of ice used after this game, a lot of hard knocks.
And is that something we'd see between the style of play? Is there much of a difference between the style of play of girls and boys at the high school level?
You know, I coach mostly girls, and you know, with the boys, it can be physical. Girls tend to take once it gets physical, it can get and progress, and I think it's a lot of emotion as well. They don't like to be. They can be nasty. They really can, and that's what it looks like this game's getting to.
Well, we're halfway through the second half, and it has been physical. One player already been knocked out, as Sarah shot. No response yet on what she injured, but it looked like a left elbow dislocation from what we could tell. Painful nonetheless, and she was out within the first 2.5 minutes. Since then, Smithville and Rosati-Kain have not stopped the physical play, hard slide tackles, shoulder tackles. As the goalkeeper for Rosati-Kain not only has been making great saves, but has been making good clears and able to kind of set up the offense on the other end.
Yeah, and most of this is just real hard play from both teams, and that's what you want. If a team is coming out hard, you don't want to back down. You want to raise that level of physical play, and both teams have done that. Again, I'm just looking to see which one's going to break first, and right now the Cougars really they're getting after. They've got a goal up, and Warriors have to score one to get back in this.
44 wins between these two teams, 22 each, and Smithville playing a handful of games less, but really essentially the same amount. I think most would argue, though, Rosati-Kain has played maybe a little bit more stronger schedule, considering they play in St. Louis and has played teams, you know, they've already played St. Dominic, the team waiting for the winner of this game on the other end.
Yeah, probably, most definitely a tougher schedule. The pool of players in that area a little bit higher, so that makes a difference.
Rosati-Kain trying to counter with a nice little run here. Bounced around, but a good job. We see time and time again, Hinshaw has been the player to kind of stop things for Smithville. And a good clear out by the Warriors.
Like you said earlier, Kyle, the Rosati-Kain team is playing more of a possession game, and whereas Smithville is trying to use their athleticism to create chances and break through and get over the top.
Now we're starting to see the whistle blown a little bit more frequently, which may end up, you know, if you're Smithville, you want to get into some sort of fluid moving offense, and right now this whole stoppage thing, foul after foul.
Farmers Insurance is a proud sponsor of the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Yeah,
call 800 Farmers or visit farmers.com to find a local agent. We are insurance. We are Farmers.
For Smithville.
Ball played out right into the hands of Lewis and never touched until it got there.
Wow, that's unfortunate for Rosati-Kain. They couldn't get somebody on the end of that ball. That ball went all the way through. Looked like it took forever to get to the goalkeeper.
Smithville hanging back, still waiting to try to find one to slingshot them over. And a trifecta of Warriors will come in and try to freshen up this lineup for Smithville. Imhoff comes
Number
out.
3, Jacqueline
Player who spends a lot of their Paige Imhoff, who spends a lot of her time on the field, will come out and see not a completely different lineup, but a different change and maybe a fresh pair of legs and a new pair of eyes for the Warriors to pay off for Coach Reed.
We're trying to give somebody a little break there so we can, a little breather, get them back on, and try to create something, get a goal back.
Rosati-Kain, though, even with that one goal lead, has not tempered any of their attack.
No, they sure haven't. They're still pressing, trying to put a nail in the coffin here. And
there it is. An impressive move of navigating and knifing through the Warrior defense. And in a game that's been this close, that might be enough to push them over the edge. And it might have been the littlest one. 5-foot Megan Anderson, the sophomore, smooth through Smithville's defense and finding a hole.
Great run, great near post run. She got to the ball, and then she beat the defender to the ball and got to it first and put it in the back of the net. That's what you got to do. You got to make sure you're matched up, and that player that you're matched up against, you got to beat them to the ball. You got to be first, and she did a good job doing it.
So here we go. Smithville is going to try to get every forcing attack as they trail 2 goals with just 15 minutes remaining, and you can kind of see the intensity ramp up with Mothershed going down there, taking on all defenders again, much like how we saw in the first half. Having to work these free kicks. They're going to keep 3 back. At what point do you start to see 2 or 1 back, leaving all that you can on these free kicks?
You know, it's down to the wire, and you know you got to be offensive oriented. You got to be pushing players forward.
Let's take one more look at that goal and really kind of break it down from this angle.
Here she beats the player on the far right and gets a pretty good cross in. And I tell you what, again, Anderson beating her player to the ball. She did well, anticipated the ball being crossed in the near post, and that's what you have to do. Great anticipation and beating her player.
Smithville now moving all the push-up attack, and there's another foul called against the Warriors.
We may be seeing a little bit more of this. Again, frustration setting in, and you know, just a late tackle. That's not. They don't want to get any players hurt that way.
Sense of urgency at a high for Smithville if they want an opportunity to get back to the state championship game. It's been since 2008 when they last played for one. And not many girls on this team were around for that. But as 7th and 8th graders, many of them watched that team and had the aspirations of grabbing themselves a state title as well. And with just around 13 minutes left, that dream could dwindle rather quickly.
If you're Coach Reed right now, you're telling your girls, you got to get forward. We got to push. We got to pressure their backs, and get the ball in the box. Got to get the ball in the box.
Anderson with it on the far side, and she has not let her small frame at 5 feet deter her at all. Obviously with the big goal at the 64th minute, but she has been in the middle of it all afternoon, getting knocked down, hopping right back up, a determined player for the Cougars, and that's
returning
really
to the match
what you can
for
say
the
about
Smithville
Warriors.
Warriors,
That's
number
why they've
23,
gotten
Paige
here in the
Imhoff.
Final Four, but they
Warriors
have
goal kick coming up.
showcased it. Physical play on both sides.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate one of these teams has to lose because both quality teams, the great work ethic from both teams, and it's just really unfortunate one of these players has to go home.
Smithville plays it ahead, and playing a wolf right behind is Mothershed, and she's got a chance. It is good.
That's not what you want if you're the Cougars right now, because Mothershed did a great job, just kept working, found the ball at her feet, great left-footed shot, buries it.
And we've got ourselves a little bit of an interesting ball game now with 12 minutes left. Smithville just 1 goal away And this was all determination.
That's all it is, and the work ethic. She is just determined to get this ball. A little too much lackadaisical in the back. Works to get it in left foot. I tell you what, that's the type of player I want on my team. And here she comes again.
She is not done yet. She wants to force
makes the score
Rosati-Kain to give everything they can against her and force that 4-defender lineup that we saw early on. Now Smithville really on the attack, but fatigue may start to factor in as this Warrior team has been pressing all game long.
Yeah, fatigue, but I tell you what, their adrenaline's pumping right now, and that's what she's working off of. All these players out here in Smithville working off of getting adrenaline and the emotion right now. So you forget about fatigue at this point. Just
over 10 minutes left, 2-1 in favor of the Cougars.
In the lineup,
Smithville. Winner will take on St. Dominic for the Class 2 Girls State Championship.
Amanda Shad and number 22, Brittany Shaw.
Kessler boots it up. 50-50 ball now won by Smithville. And all those close opportunities start to creep into the mind of the Warriors. They had a chance to take a lead several times early on, just missed wide open shots. Handball against Rosati-Kain, and both teams now pushing and pressing. Rosati-Kain can't sit back and let it happen. That is exactly what Smithville would want.
It looks like right now Smithville has the momentum, even being down by 1 goal. They're putting the pressure on them.
Moving that entire lineup forward. And now Imhoff, who checked out, is back in. Paige Imhoff working on the near side, rather. One-timer, no good. And Chris, it's been said time and time again, 2 goals, maybe too many goals is a lead, and that could end up being the same again here.
Yeah, there's 2 things you don't want. At halftime, you don't, it's being down 2-0, bad score, and being down 2-1. It's one of the most dangerous scores. Players get lackadaisical with that score at times, and anything can happen. Right now, this game is anybody's. There's plenty of time on the clock, and as a coach, hopefully you don't panic, but you don't want to be in this situation.
Smithville continuing to push. Imhoff will throw it in. Paige Imhoff, sophomore, with a 1-2 combo of Imhoff and Mothershed, and sophomores and freshmen. I mean, this Smithville team has an opportunity to really set themselves out for the future, but this is all about today. Potus. She had a header earlier. All the goals have been scored here in the second half, and it has been exciting stuff, as we have hoped that this Class 2 semifinal girls championship match would. Just tired legs on both ends as they've been pushing this entire time.
That's very dangerous for the Cougars right now. Very dangerous situation.
A yellow card right there.
They just got into the tackle late, pushed their foot out, and nothing you can do about that. Once you've committed, the foul's going to happen. And again, a dangerous situation for the Cougars. Great opportunities for the Warriors, Smithville, to create something here. In the first half, we had a great ball into the box. Well-driven ball. We'll see what happens here.
Kroll with an opportunity to avenge the point-blank miss in the first half if she can place a good ball in.
Yeah, this type of ball, you want to try to get it on what we call the second 6, which is about 6 yards off the goal box, and that's a dangerous ball. As a goalkeeper, you don't want those balls coming in like that, because reaction time and judging the ball, if it's a knuckleball, it could be dangerous.
The goalkeeper has been impressive. Katie Kessler, junior. Ball placed up by Kroll.
Great ball.
and bounced high. And just a missed opportunity for the Warriors right there as time's starting to become their enemy. No goals in the first half. We've had 3 erupt here in the second half. 49th minute with Taisha Potos, Rosati-Kain, then Rosati-Kain again with Megan Anderson in the 64th minute, and Mothershed breaking through for Smithville in the 68th minute as another shot on goal, and Kessler just continues to grab it and just keep it out of the grasp of a Smithville rebound.
Kessler with the save.
If you're Coach Taylor right now, you're a little nervous because the pressure's on them, and the pressures continue to be on them for most of this half.
Cougars force the ball down inside of Smithville territory, and this would be an opportunity. They were going to want to try to burn as much time on that clock and just spread it out. But they're keeping plenty of bodies back and kind of have a diamond formation all around the very dangerous freshman, Kelsey Mothershed.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on her, because if she springs loose again, it's gonna be a different story.
That's who they get it out to, and defense all around Mothershed. Smithville will try to boot it out forward. Body angling really important here as Imhoff goes back down. No foul called.
Let play go on. It surprises me a little bit.
More hard bodies. This time Mothershed eats it.
Referee's letting play go.
That's 3 or 4 hard tackles on both sides. At some point, as the coach, do you just ask for what it's going to take?
Yeah, I'm as a coach, I'm sitting on the bench. I'm wondering, you know what? Somebody's going to get hurt here because there are a lot of bodies flying all over. Kind of reckless tackles, and really hate to see somebody else get hurt. We've already had an injured player. The referee he seems to think that it's all good play, so he's got a little bit better angle than we do. But I tell you, they look a little tight out there, a little rough.
And it's not like the common misconception that sometimes players are taking dives. This is some pretty physical play. You look on some of these girls' faces, and they're coming up with grass stains in their hair.
Yeah, this is not acting by no means.
And that's a hard play again right there.
Yeah, her head hit the ground too, and that's good she got off from that.
Take one more look at this. I don't think these girls are trying hard for this state championship. Both of them go for a hard ball right there.
Just raised her arm there to shove her off, and you get called every time for that foul. You can't raise your arms and push off.
Inside of 5 minutes, a 1-goal differential between these two.
Checking in for the Cougars, number 2,
of
Jill
St.
Grable.
Louis taking on Smithville here in Blue Springs South High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. Class 2 girls semifinal. Winner takes on St. Dominic of O'Fallon.
This is a and a hard-fought game by both teams. And again, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, one of these teams has to go home. And some great soccer, great physical soccer.
Potos with another attempt. Her poke just hits the corner.
That wasn't far off. I'm not sure if Lewis thought that was just going to go out.
Shot by the Cougars, number 15, Taisha Potos.
It wasn't too far off at all.
Potos has shown some impressive skills this afternoon.
She hit that ball pretty well, and so they hit the crossbar there with some pace.
Since the expanded format of district play, Rosati-Kain has never has yet to make a Final Four. They've been to championships, but they have never been as part of the new expanded district play. This is an opportunity. Potos has talked about it all week. After the final of their Notre Dame Cape Girardeau game, she harped on the fact of how important it was for this is illustrious program of Rosati-Kain to get here, and not just get here, but put on a good show. And I think thus far, both teams can claim
free kick for Smithville.
I would agree with that. Nobody here on this field has anything to be not proud of, and they both working hard.
Leading attempt right there, and just frustration continuing to show on Mothershed's faces. She's backhanded and back-footed, throwing out kicks. And Kessler just has been an iron wall.
By Kessler.
Yeah, she has. I'd say both goalkeepers should be very proud of the way they played. Again, it's one of the toughest positions in the field, and got to be leaders back there and direct traffic, and both of them done very well.
Just around 2 minutes remaining. Final attempts for Smithville. Rosati-Kain can end this with one more goal. And they're going to hang out and just try to bleed out the clock.
Probably
2 minutes remaining in regulation. 2 minutes.
Get some time off the clock.
In the lineup for Rosati-Kain. Number 13,
has to do is keep possession of the ball and run the clock out. They don't want to give the ball back to Smithville and get them another opportunity.
And there it is, Smithville with a big boot. Tries to get it to play, but a good job of Rosati-Kain keeping it in front. Cruel, Mothershed and Imhoff flying all over for the Warriors, but with 90 seconds left, not much time as the very skilled and disciplined Cougars continue to play keep away from this Warrior team.
Yeah, that's really what all they want to do is just keep the ball from Smithville, and so it doesn't give this girl here another opportunity because she could do it.
Mothershed flying all over on the far side now. Potos trying to position herself in the middle. There she has it. She's going to turn around. Grabbed up by Lewis. 1 minute remaining on the counter.
You want to get the ball up as quickly as possible, move players up, try to get numbers up, try to create something. And
Cruel.
This could be their opportunity here.
Played back, still trying to fight for it. 40 seconds, they're just wildly throwing it out there. No foul called. Finally there is one.
And that's just frustration.
Hinshaw just giving all effort on both sides, both teams just diving and trying to advance the ball. Just about 20 seconds left, and Smithville had a chance there at the end with one final rally for Rosati-Kain. Just able to outlast this team in the final seconds tick off, and Rosati-Kain has a chance for a rematch, this time for a state championship as they win 2-1 over Smithville to advance to the Class II Girls State Championship game to play St. Dominic after a very impressive offensive and defensive slugfest against Smithville. Final thoughts?
And yeah, it was a slugfest. And again, I say neither team should be disappointed in how they played. They both played very well. Obviously, there's going to be some disappointment in losing, but.
Well, we're going to take a break and we'll come back and wrap things up from Blue Springs South High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. Well, it's final after a very physical and an exciting match between Smithville and Rosati-Kain. A winner comes out, Rosati-Kain, the Cougars from St. Louis, and, you know, an impressive match all the way around.
Yeah, you know what? It was, both teams fought hard, and you know what? Again, neither team should be disappointed in how they played. Very impressed. It looked like a final. It really did, the way both teams came out in battle. So look forward to more of this going forward.
Well, the young Smithville team made it interesting with that last goal, but not enough as Rosati-Kain advances to take on St. Dominic for the girls Class 2 state championship. For Chris Duke and our producer-director Corey Smith, I'm Kyle Haas, thanking you for watching this broadcast.